Browns. This is the most hype they've ever had. Like, it's the Browns.
Exactly.
So he got drafted to the wrong team. That Sanders name, I'm telling you right now, there's only one person that understands business, and he will trade his quarterback for Sanders. Dallas is where Sanders is going to be.
Wow.
Because that name on the back of that jersey is legacy, and he's going to want that to ring bells around.
The NFL rumor buzz just cracked the sound barrier, and right in the center is Andrew Berry supposedly going full cartoon meltdown over whispers that Shedeur Sanders might be catching the attention of the Dallas Cowboys. Picture a GM firing off spreadsheets like they're ninja stars, while Jerry Jones hangs in the shadows, holding a checkbook big enough to block the sun. Is this real life or some wild football soap opera in shoulder pads? This whole thing is spinning out fast. Andrew Berry isn't just irritated. He's in that level of frustration where you don't know if you should flip a desk, torch the playbook, or send Jerry a glitter bomb with a smiley face sticker on it.
Cleveland believes in Joe Flacco's experience and Dylan Gabriel's ability to back him up. Andrew Berry still thinks there's a place for Shedeur on this roster, but his chances of seeing regular season action in 2025 are unlikely. You can see on the left there in the picture, and I'll read you the full quote, unless things get really weird. So this is what the actual snippet from the article said. Then I got a question for you. Diana Rossini wrote, for all the football conspiracy theorists out there, they're trying to decode the real reason the Browns drafted Shedeur Sanders. Here's the truth. There is no big secret. The pick wasn't some master plan from ownership. It was GM Andrew Berry's call, rooted in his belief that Cleveland's coaching staff could bring out the best in Sanders and help him grow into an NFL quarterback.
The man has been guarding Shedeur Sanders like he's some rare collectible, only to toss him out during minutes so meaningless that the players on the field already got Uber rides scheduled before the fourth quarter even starts. It's like buying a fresh sports car and using it only to roll down the driveway to grab the mail, then telling everyone it's the fastest ride in town. That's the kind of wild logic Cleveland is playing with right now. Shedeur has had no real run, no real snaps, nothing that actually counts. And when he finally steps onto the field, it looks more like a charity scrimmage starring future ex-Browns, who already know their parking passes won't work after halftime. You can't even call that development. It feels more like football in witness protection.
We all didn't expect this, of course, but I feel like with God, anything possible, everything possible. I don't feel like this happened, for no reason. All this is, of course, fuel to the fire. And under no circumstance, we all know this shouldn't have happened. But we understand we're on the bigger and better things. Tomorrow's the day. We're going to be happy regardless. Legendary.
Ooh. Meanwhile, Andrew Berry keeps convincing himself that he's carefully developing Shedeur, even though it looks more like hiding your rarest trading card in a dusty shoebox, while the Cowboys are already refreshing eBay with a wild bid ready to drop. It's a whole illusion he's selling to himself. Then the rumor hits. Shedeur Sanders linked to the Cowboys in some giant blockbuster deal, and Berry reacts like someone told him his entire fantasy squad got auto-drafted by a toddler.
Ever not gotten really weird.
Yeah,
I mean, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Does that mean Flacco and we already know he's the third quarterback. So what? Nothing weird has to happen. The first two quarterbacks got to get hurt or be terrible.
Yeah, that's.
And then he'll get a chance.
That's what she means, I think.
Yeah. So, but who didn't know that already?
I think we all knew that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why that's a news story.
because it makes.
I mean, she's the first person to put it in print where she says he's not playing this year.
But he's going to play this year, I assume, because I don't think these guys are going to make it through the season. Joe Flacco, no way he's going to make it more than 4 or 5 weeks. It seems very unlikely.
The man's face probably dropped like he just learned someone swiped his Netflix login. Fuming doesn't even begin to cover it. He's pacing around like he's waiting on a verdict, mumbling about potential, and probably tossing Nerf footballs at any intern who even blinks too loud.
The Dallas Cowboys are trading Dak Prescott to draft Shedeur Sanders. Hey, hear me out. I know y'all been hearing these rumors about Dak Prescott going to the Browns. If it's out like this, it ain't fake. This is what I think is happening. Remember when Jerry Jones made that call to Deion Sanders? It wasn't about the head coaching job. It was about his son. And I think that Jerry Jones is trading Dak Prescott for draft picks and a player so they can move up in the draft and draft Shedeur Sanders. Remember, Shedeur is a big-time.
This isn't just fear of losing a player. It feels like fear of getting exposed. Because if Dallas swoops in, it proves what fans been yelling for weeks. Cleveland never had a real plan for Shedeur again. And of course, it's the Cowboys, America's most dramatic franchise, turning this rumor into a full-blown circus. They don't just chase talent, they chase headlines, camera crews, and anything big enough to go viral before lunch. Jerry Jones treats the NFL like a movie set, and if he smells a storyline that can sell season tickets before he finishes breakfast, he's all in.
But like I said, man.
Shedeur Sanders in a Cowboys star isn't just football, it's TV gold, jersey sales, and Jerry shaking that giant checkbook like it's calling his name. Andrew Berry knows it too, which is why his blood pressure is probably high enough to set off the stadium sound meter. Suddenly, the Cowboys start sniffing around, and now Cleveland scrambles like he's the future. Really? The same future where he played those empty snaps with linemen updating their LinkedIn pages mid-drive?
Who might be, don't matter. Might be the Raiders.
Fans see through all that. They're not clueless. They watch the Browns treat Shedeur like some random experiment instead of the quarterback he actually is. They watched him get tossed out there with players who had the energy of a substitute teacher on a Friday afternoon. And now Barry wants to act shocked that another team finally noticed him. Shedeur is big time. And now that Dallas might step in, suddenly it's treated like a national crisis. If Andrew Berry showed this much energy months ago, maybe Shedeur would have actually gotten a real shot before the Cowboys turned his name into a Texas-sized headline.
Already knew and already knows Shedeur is him. Look, he said it from jump. I don't know exactly what day he said it, but he said, hey, Shedeur will outperform his 5th round draft pick status. He know that. He already went on record saying that. Walked up to Shedeur and let him know, bro, I'm proud of you. To me, that's his pick. To me, really behind the scenes, that's Jimmy's pick too, the owner. So, it's week 1 of the NFL. We are week 1 with the Browns. We are week 1 with everybody else in the league. You know.
If Shedeur ends up in Dallas, it's like Cleveland running a garage sale and accidentally selling a masterpiece for pocket change, then watching it get displayed in the Cowboys stadium a week later. Barry doesn't just lose a player. He becomes the GM who missed value while it stood right on his sideline. Cleveland will be scrambling to explain why they treated him like a background extra, while Dallas is polishing the star-shaped spotlight with his name on it. Barry's frustration isn't just about losing Shedeur. It's about everyone pointing out how badly they wasted him. Shedeur's got the Sanders name, the personality, and the talent, yet Cleveland kept him buried under endless, not-yet excuses until the Cowboys showed interest. That's like hiding a winning lottery ticket until someone else claims it. And honestly, Shedeur in Dallas fits way too perfectly. The Cowboys love drama, they love a storyline, and ESPN producers would be fainting with joy. A Sanders leading America's team? That's reality TV disguised as football? While Dallas cashes in, Barry will be standing there wondering how the guy he barely let touch the field became the biggest headline in the NFL. It's wild, because Barry's anger isn't about morals. It's about getting exposed.
Shedeur Sanders is there for some reason. Would you take him?
You're gonna need something for the future. And if you get a chance, absolutely, I'm taking him. I'm gonna take Shedeur Sanders if he's there, and with Shedeur, and then Dak and
Genty. You would take Shedeur over Genty.
I got personal things I'm trying to make go down here. You know, are you serious?
I got you. I got you.
Right.
Well, you know Shedeur better than the average person.
And I love Shedeur. And all that noise that people are talking about, when you're talking about, oh, he's this or he's that, I'm like, shut up. He's exactly what you need.
This time, the drama is playing out on a stage so big that even casual fans can't ignore it. And the wild part is Shedeur doesn't have to move a muscle. He's just chilling while Dallas whispers his name and Cleveland spirals like Barry just watched the credits roll on his GM career. One small rumor, and suddenly he's the most valuable quarterback Cleveland never actually used. Here's the whole comedy in one hit. The Browns, famous for treating quarterbacks like disposable cups, might lose Shedeur Sanders to the Cowboys, a team that treats players like blockbuster stars. Cleveland hit him, benched him, wasted him. Dallas sees headlines and money the second his name hits the air. Barry's somewhere between melting down and blaming the universe, because nothing screams Browns football like fumbling the bag before the play even starts. Now the rumor hangs over Cleveland like a bad call, and watching Barry stew is unintentional comedy at its finest. Shedeur in Dallas almost feels scripted, while Barry clings to a plan that never really existed. That's why this rumor stings so hard. It exposes Cleveland's messy decisions while giving Dallas everything they love: attention, spectacle, and a quarterback named Sanders ready for prime time. Shedeur has basically been stuck in football quicksand, taking snaps that feel more like auditions for a team pretending he's invisible. Andrew Barry might be losing sleep, talking to himself about this quarterback mess like he's trapped in some dramatic soap opera. But let's be honest, Barry isn't the one calling plays. He can fuss, complain, or flip chairs if he wants. But until Kevin Stefanski admits Shedeur deserves more than cleanup snaps in games already sinking, the kid is just a luxury ride collecting dust. If clapping on the sideline really built quarterbacks, every water boy in NFL history would have a gold jacket by now. Fans aren't clueless. They see it. Shedeur has been boxed in so tight he can't even breathe out there, like someone gave him a parachute but won't let him near the plane. It's a setup that makes no sense. Barry, for all his flaws, at least sees how wild this looks. He knows hiding Shedeur is turning into a PR nightmare and wasting real talent, but Stefanski won't budge. He can watch Shedeur fire perfect passes in practice, take command, show confidence, and he still treats him like he's holding a toy ball instead of running an N.F.L. offense. It's unreal. It feels like Stefanski would rather ride with the old crew and watch the season crumble than admit the rookie might actually deserve a real shot. It's the coldest irony ever. Shedeur has done everything right. Stayed humble, stayed focused, worked nonstop, and somehow all that gets used against him. At some point, he can't just be the quiet rookie while Stefanski plays quarterback mix and match with guys who couldn't hit Lake Erie with a beach ball. It's time for him to choose himself, because Cleveland hasn't shown they know how to handle him at all.
Shedeur Sanders is there for some reason. Would you take him?
You're going to need something for the future. And if you get a chance, absolutely, I'm taking him. I'm going to take Shedeur Sanders if he's there, and with Shedeur, and then Dak and
Genty. You would take Shedeur over Genty.
I got personal things I'm trying to make go down here. Are you serious?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Right.
Well, you know Shedeur better than the average person.
And I love Shedeur. And all that noise that.
This is the same franchise that turned mishandling quarterbacks into a full-time hobby, turning promising players into warnings, like it's part of their team history. And Shedeur is next in line unless he finally says enough. He needs to take control of his story, even if it makes people uncomfortable. The whole situation feels like some weird test. How much disrespect can he take before he decides his career matters more than protecting Stefanski's ego? Fans are hoping he puts himself first, not out of attitude, but survival. When the Browns' plan starts looking like sabotage, choosing yourself stops being selfish and becomes basic logic. Shedeur doesn't need to be rude, and he doesn't need to burn the whole place down, but he does need to stop being the polite extra in his own story. He's got the talent, the name, the pedigree, and they're treating him like a lab project instead of a quarterback. If he listens to the fans and uses that frustration as fuel, he can finally break out of this whole setup. Because let's be real, this situation is way past sugarcoating. Shedeur has been set up to fail, plain and simple. The Browns drafted him with hype, called him the future, then locked him away like some rare comic book nobody's allowed to touch. They threw him on the field with players halfway out the door, making sure he looked average no matter what. And through their actions, not their words, they've shown he's not a priority. Respecting that system isn't professionalism anymore. It's punishment. Fans see the truth. Shedeur deserves better. He deserves more than tiny snaps and practice field claps. He deserves a real chance to lead, to play, to show that the Sanders name means something deeper than ticket sales. And if Cleveland won't give him that, then it's time for Shedeur to stop being overly respectful and choose himself. Because here's the wild twist. Cleveland doesn't even realize they're pushing him closer to Dallas or any team willing to treat him like an actual quarterback. Every time Stefanski refuses to move, every time Barry just wrings his hands, that Cowboys rumor gets louder. And when the day finally comes, when Shedeur chooses himself and walks away from this messy setup, the Browns can't act shocked. They built this. They set him up to fail, and the only way out is for him to take control, protect his career, and leave Cleveland holding nothing but excuses. And honestly, that'd be the funniest punchline yet. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, and see you on the next one.